Hi, my name's Katie and welcome to my channel. Today I am here with Tamara in Nova Scotia in Canada. Tamara has a YouTube channel called A Day with Tea because Tamara is Joey Mullen's wife, recently got married. You started your YouTube channel kind of recently, right?
Just almost a year, like just after. I think I was a little bit inspired by you. And
I was like, I'm just gonna do it. Because I was here about a year ago and I did some filming of the King of DIY's Aquarium Gallery. We did that again this time, but now we're actually going to go and check out the Queen's Cove and see some of Tamara's tanks that she's got set up. And because you're kind of new to the aquarium hobby, even though your husband has one of the biggest, most famous aquarium channels that there is, you only just recently started keeping fish tanks, right?
Yes.
That's kind of the interesting part.
We're doing one of those welcome to the 20 questions with Vogue.
Yeah.
Because of the way we just came in the door.
It's like, welcome to the crib. Kind of is like a little cove. You're gonna go downstairs into the basement. Gotta watch your head here. Do a little limbo. In this we've got some trophies.
And some rocks.
But these are special rocks. These are not real rocks, right?
They are aqua decor rocks from aqua decor backgrounds.
That's one of the benefits of living in the same house as Joey. You get to use all of the stuff that he's got, and he's got plenty of aqua decor stuff.
Absolutely. Whenever I'm away from the tank, like over there, I'll see them swimming around throughout the tank, but then as soon as I come over, if I don't come over very slowly, they dart into their
dart away
caves. And then we have this lovely dresser here to keep the cats from opening the cupboard.
Mariah? Is that right?
Yes, that's Mariah.
Roni is in the corner here too. Roni's a little cutie. Pepperoni.
Mr. Owl Eyes.
And then you've got another type of Lake Tanganyika cichlid over here,
yes,
which I think I've seen these guys before. I think I might recognize these frontosa from somewhere else in the house.
Some of them are black widows, so this guy right here is a black widow, and then the rest are just common Burundis. At some point, a Burundi showed a break in one of its stripes, and that's different than everything else. And what we do in with humans is we see something different, we see dollar signs, and we create something new. The black widows are interesting to look at, but you honestly can't beat just a basic, striped frontosa. So frontosa would not necessarily hide, but the less decor that's in the tank, technically the better. And then they're out like this all the time.
They're probably more open water swimmers opposed to the trophies that like to hide as well.
Oh, just one, let me guess.
I like the
where'd
ceiling.
that come from?
Alrighty.
I'm just gonna shut this curtain over.
Okay.
Yeah, so just a background, this big hot water tank started leaking. I had to replace it, but in order to get the new one in, this entire rack over here had to be taken apart, which had 6 15-gallon tanks on it. We've been moving a lot of things around, and she's able to maintain the best ones though. She has some really cool tanks.
Yeah, these quarts normally aren't just sitting on top, but because I didn't want anything to get wet, I just tucked them up here. But we do have a pirate crab in here. Her name is Linda. She's a freshwater pirate crab. I had 3 pirate crabs, 2 of them were blue males, and they were in a 15-gallon that was set up on the end there. And once we upgraded the tank, I don't know, they thought they were too good for it, I guess, and they decided to die. Rest their souls. So we'll just see how things play out with her. She sometimes just hangs out on the sponge, but recently she's been a little bit more active. Most of the time, feed her this same Cats Aquatics food, but I just offer it.
Oh, like an offering on the rock?
Yeah. I also have set up this shrimp tank here. It has grown in wonderfully. Like, it looks so good, I think, now. Not to toot my own horn, but the moss I started out with just little clumps on the top of the tree, and now they're, well, as you can see, they've just taken off. And there's just lots of cherry shrimp in and out underneath the moss and stuff.
Did you want to tell the background on what happened with it to give the shrimp tank lore? Or it's interesting. I mean, people could learn from it.
Well, I've shown her how to attach moss to wood before with super glues, like the gel type, and she just used a lot more than you're supposed to and added it into the tank. It wasn't fully cured, and it almost wiped the whole tank out. I mean, I sit here and
a lot of them in there.
And it's like, oh, that's so amateur, but you don't want to know the mistakes I made my first year or two.
Well, they've started to repopulate again recently. And I've seen a few buried shrimp and then like some shrimplets. Like you can see some of them are a lot smaller than others. There's, I think, even smaller ones in and around.
The tree is beautiful right now, and it's now what Tamara meant it to be. She called it the tree of life.
But before it was
It was the tree of death.
It was. That's what I said. I was like, oh no.
Well, that's kind of symbolic.
But you know what? Now it's the survival of the fittest tank. And we're growing some hardier shrimp around these parts.
Yeah, it's like yin and yang. Sometimes old things have to die for new beautiful things to take their place.
Circle of life. Here we have the goldfish tank with Cupcake and Muffin, my two fancy goldfish. They're always a crowd favorite, and they're so fun. Muffin has the more lush fins. Cupcakes are a little bit shorter, and Cupcake used to have a lot more of an orange hat. But Joey helped me escape this tank as well because I kept playing around with the rocks and it just kept looking so fake. Like it kept looking like I was trying too hard.
I used to do the same thing. Like I tried really hard, and then it always looks unnatural when you try hard. Like it actually, like the faster you do it, if you just let the rocks like fall into place, sometimes it actually looks better. So Tamara mentioned that I inspired her a little bit with the YouTube channel, but one of the things that Tamara has inspired me with is fitness in the gym. So I just wanted to take a quick moment to show you this exercise bike that fitness brand Yasol sent to me, and I've got a discount code as well if you would be interested. This is a really good budget-friendly bike. It's got a screen, as you can see. What it comes with is these two adapters, one for Android, one for Apple, and it will mirror your phone display. Whatever you put on your phone, you can show it up on there. But it's much cheaper than some of the competitors out there, yet it's still commercial grade and it still does everything that you need in an exercise bike. It gives you a great way to have aerobic exercise easily accessible to you, and to have the screen too to help to motivate you. There's a link in my bio and you can use the discount code Kaity for $100 off. I believe it ships to Australia, US and Canada. Thank you so much Yasol for sponsoring this video. Let's get back into the video.
In like all of my tanks, which has been really good to keep the amount of water changes needed down. They will eat the really small like frog bit, so I don't.
This is frog bit.
Oh yeah.
I don't add that in unless I want to give them a little snack.
They actually had lice,
and it looked so gross. Yeah. And then it like swam around in the bowl after. Like it was really gross.
It was gross. Luke down here, the golden retriever, has fallen asleep on my foot, so I'm just gonna slowly move my foot out of here.
The tank that the trophies were previously in, but now it is just my holding tank for my angelfish. It's not obviously set up. I just wanted to keep the tanks sort of cycled. This on some of the angelfish is their fins are really curled. They were like that when Joey picked them up at the store. Yeah. And he's soon thinking about trying to trim their fins to have them regrow back straight. It's
incredibly common. It's like clipping your fingernails or something, or girls cutting off dead ends of their hair so it will grow in a little bit better. But I did Asian arowana fin trimming as well, because you can trim it off, and as long as you don't trim into the ray, like the ray of the fin, it'll grow back no problem. And that'll be an interesting one, because that's not the first time I've seen angelfish with like their dorsal and or anal fins like curled up like that. Yeah. You'll see it in stunted fish, but I think that it was more something genetic. So we can try to trim it and see what happens.
In here we have 5 electric blue Acara. They're stunning. I thought they were stunning when I got them, but I just recently was going back to an older video to create a short, and I realized that they are so much more stunning now. I also have a few Bino Bushy Nose Plecos, and there's a whole bunch of coolie loaches under this log here. There's a lot of coolie loaches.
Do you want me to move the log and see if they scatter? Oh my.
There they go. Oh my.
They're like snakes.
Oh, they're pretty thick too.
Yeah, she's got a bunch of healthy ones. They don't get much bigger than this.
Well, they're gone crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, bright lights, bright lights.
So the Acara is a dwarf cichlid. And electric blue, of course, is man-made. Selectively bred to show those types of traits. Because usually they're more green. They certainly don't have that much blue, but I knew what they were going to look like long-term as adults. And a lot of the times that's a huge benefit for Tamara when she's selecting fish, is I already know what they're going to look like and or how they act. So a lot of the times we can just discuss a lot of the things beforehand.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing about some of Tamara's fish is it's almost like an extension of the gallery, because she's keeping fish that I was like, well, if they breed, I'd love to have some. So hopefully she gets a pair out of the Acarus. Maybe I'd give her some Sevrums if Tyrese didn't eat them all.
See the coolest fish.
The last
best
one
last.
here are a couple of rope fish. They're really fun to watch eat, and like when they are swimming around.
I thought these were biches at first. We do not have these guys in Australia. Whoa. They're like snakes. They're like
snake
ribbons.
But if you're somebody who like is into snakes, but maybe your partner is afraid of them and won't let you have snakes, maybe you can keep them for fish and say, no, it's not a snake, it's a fish, because it is a fish. So it's a little loophole for you.
Do you have names for these guys?
No, they don't have any names.
Well, comment down below. What do you think Tamara should name the two little rope fish? I don't know if you'll be able to tell them apart, to be honest, but we'll see.
know that they're both
They're
in
one or
there.
the other.
Yes. Or sometimes when they're in the pipe, like laying together, I told him, I was like, it's us.
Oh, just call them Joey and Tamara.
Yeah, exactly. I apologize for my like smoker's laugh. I've been sick and I like am not allowed to laugh anymore because it just sounds so terrible.
Nope, nobody said you weren't allowed to laugh.
No, it's not that. Like I just feel so terrible. I feel so terrible.
Okay, technically Kaity asked you not to laugh.
When you film a video with me, that's the condition. I'm like, no laughing. All right, well, to finish up, should we head back out the front?
Yes.
Out this way? Okay. All right. I hope we're not too heavy for it.
As soon as I get on it just falls.
This will be a good thumbnail.
Collapse.
Well, thanks so much, Tamara, for showing us the Queen's Cove.
Thank you for coming to see my
cichlid tanks.
tanks.
No, I loved it. It was awesome. And hopefully we'll see some more tanks in the future as well. Make sure you follow Tamara's channel. I'll tag it in the bio, but it's A Day with Tea. So go and check it out. And if you're enjoying my content, make sure you subscribe, because there's going to be way more from this trip in Canada and the US, including a tour of Joey's gallery as well, which may or may not be out by now. All right.
Amazing.
Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.